so much power and impact in this episode. Once again, Zankyou no Terror, you proved to me why I said you were my favorite anime from this season. You just bitch slapped me because of everybody, you know, denying Lisa, making fun of Lisa, and all sorts of stuff like that. The power in Lisa's character and the development with 12's character, powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. That was some very, very powerful emotions in this episode. I really almost bawled my eyes out watching this because it was sad. The music, you know, the lyrics in the background, when you saw that scene with the Ferris wheel slowly going up, and you see the bomb ticking down, and then you see 12 trying to get the bomb disabled and all that, and you see Lisa just looking at 12 like she knows she's being a hindrance. She knows as a person that she's a hindrance. She's going to possibly kill 12, and to see how 12 continues to try to save her was amazing. But it's not just that. It's not just the fact of how 12 is willing to save Lisa. It's a lot more powerful than that. The scene has so much more impact than just 12 trying to save Lisa in the entire emotional moment of them talking about the past. The emotional impact of that scene, what makes it so sad, is because 12 thinks he betrayed 9, but, you know, he knew, like, he was making a mistake when he talked to Lisa for the first time. He knew for a fact he was making a mistake when he asked her to come with them. He knew he was making a mistake all those times. But to have him actually realize this and have him think about that in his mind, it really, really strikes you. It strikes you so fucking hard. It does. I love the attention to detail. The studio that is currently animating this, I don't know the studio. I'm going to have to look it up after I'm done with this review. But the studio that is currently animating this, I want to give them props with the feels they did in this. You want to know why? When you saw that timer ticking down on, you know, Lisa's chest, look at the timer as you see 12 and Lisa talking. You'll still see it tick down, and you count it with the seconds of the episode. It actually goes with the episode's time, and I'm like, oh my god, it is just so emotional. It really is emotional when you see that timer ticking down, the music playing in the background, the gritty, dark animation and art style, get to see the facial expressions on Lisa and 12. It just, oh my god, this series is fucking good. Dude, I feel like I just ran through a blender, like a blender of feels, emotions, and drama and epic sauce. That's exactly what I feel like I just ran through before I did this review, or I feel like that right now. Zankyou no Terror is most likely going to still retain my favorite anime of this season. It is just so fucking hard to beat this. And I'm not going to count long series like, you know, 24 episode series like Akame ga Kill and SAO and stuff, because, I mean, those series technically are going to be going on until next season, so I'm not even going to give those a count rating, you know, saying that they're the best of the season, because I'm only going to talk about stuff that is ending this season. That's what I'll say that's the best. This right here, Zankyou no Terror, is the shit. It is the fucking shit. It's like you get a sandwich, get the bread slices, and you put the peanut butter and jelly, and you put the Nutella in the center, and you're like, that's a good fucking sandwich. That's exactly what this is. It is so freaking good. One thing, though, about this episode, besides the factor of Lisa and 12, if you did not know, this episode has aired on 9/11. Yeah, this episode actually has aired on 9/11. And the strange thing is, I thought a character was going to die since this episode was, you know, airing on that date. I'm like, oh god. But I guess it did. It played with my feels. I'm gonna tell you, it really played with my feels. But there's one thing that you can get from this episode. Besides the ending, let's talk about the beginning part of this episode. Shibazaki. He finally finds out the connection between this Athena project, or Athena plan, connected to what was his downfall when he was demoted, when he was just too into his research on this entire investigation in the past. Remember, we were told about this, like, in episode 2. I remember, like, episode 2, they brought up, you know, that Shibazaki was demoted because he got too far into his investigation. He would not give it up. He thought there was something going wrong here, but they forced him to stop investigating. Well, he finally finds the connection between all the problems he had in the past, between the Athena plan and what happened with that organization, the company. So, I'm really hyped up to see what Shibazaki's going to do, because from his perspective, knowing how smart he is as a character, he's going to pinpoint the dots. He knows now that there's, you know, probably 17-year-olds, 2 people that are 17-year-olds, most likely, you know, somewhere out there that was in this experiment, that escaped. He's going to think about this for a second and say, wait a minute, Sphinx looks like he's a high schooler, like a teenager, you know, that's been said a couple times, and so he's going to pinpoint those dots and say, oh, there's the connection, and then he's going to realize that the reason why these kids are probably doing that is to get the attention of the entire organization that did this to them. And so I like that. But there's another thing from this episode you get, is that 5, 9, and 12 are the sole survivors of this Athena plan. They're the sole survivors. There is no 8, there's no 10, there is no 11, there is no 5, well, I was about to say 5, I mean, there's no 4, pretty much. 5, 9, and 12 are the last ones. Everybody else is dead. And we find out 26 children were rounded up for this project. A project focused around experimentation. It was obvious. It's pretty much obvious that it was on experimentation. But we find out the main concept of it. The main concept is certain syndrome people have to where they're really smart and intelligent in certain aspects of their brain. So they tried to make an artificial version of this syndrome through these children. And they realized to do this, they would have to use children under 5. And so 5, 9, and 12 and other children were experimented on under the age of 5. Now imagine how fucked up that is as a child, to see stuff like that probably happen to them, and how much experimentation they had, and like told they had no names and stuff like that. I mean, that is a very scarring thing to have as a child, and that just shows you how fucked up the series is. The entire bit with the experimentation and how that dude, like that old dude, explained it, it reminded me a lot of Monster. If you know what I'm talking about, clap yourself on the back. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the fucking anime. That anime is amazing. Top 10 material in my book, okay? But yeah, the entire bit with the experimentation and all that, that reminded me of Monster with what happened to Johan and stuff. Now, episode, very good quality. A very consistent quality with animation. Voice acting was superb. Music was on point, on key. I mean, everything with the music was just so great. The second half of the music just, it made the episode. That music made the episode at the end. It did. So, for the most part, epic fucking episode. I have no complaints. None. Okay? I understand Lisa's point of view now. I understand why Lisa's in the story. Lisa's in this story for that character development of 9 and 12. To show their human side. As I predicted a little bit in the past, I talked about it, but you see how much was brought out of 12 when, you know, Lisa was there in this episode, it really hits you. Tell me your thoughts. All of you Chibis currently watching this video, tell me your thoughts about this episode. Is this like a great sandwich that you wish you could continue to buy and get something new out of because that's how great it is? Let me know in the comments below. And I can't wait for next episode. This was too good of an episode. It was way too good of an episode. And this is how anime should be. It should be like this. So anyways, you have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.